So you're looking at wanting to build your own castle in Blender. Well, good news for you, because today we're going to show you how you can make your own stone turnpike staircase, also referred to as a spiral staircase, here in Blender today. Welcome to Digital Paul Workshop. It is I, that one step that loves to trip you up as you're going up the stairs, Techno Meow Tinkerer. Let's log on in. Okay, so one of the first things we're going to kind of do is create our turnpike staircase or stairs, and we're doing the in the form of the old stone stairs used in the castle keeps. So I'm going to actually come over here and I'm going to change my units from metrics to imperial because I am American. That's what I use. But you may have to check up or do your own conversions on some of this stuff. So the first thing I'm going to do is going to hit Shift A to bring in my cone mess or cylinder. Now I'm going to actually do this 12. I want this to be 12 steps. Let's zoom in here some. And then go ahead and hit my Control A scale. I just got in the habit of doing that a lot for some stuff. So let's bring this up. I'm going to click on my faces up here. I'm going to hold down my Alt key. I'm going to click close to this vertice or this edge. That way I do a loop around. I'm going to switch this from extrude to extrude individuals. And then I'm just going to bring it on out. And the whole point of this is to be a guide for me when I go to actually make the actual step. Because I want it to be 12 steps to make a complete circle. And so that's one reason I got it this way. I'm going to switch to this view and then my x-ray view so I can kind of see what I'm doing here. The next thing I'm going to do is go back to hit Shift A, bring in a new cylinder mess, and this time I'm going to hit N to open this up, and I'm going to change these sizes. Now it is going to be very difficult to try to figure out what the actual size, and some of this stuff is going to vary. The 0.6 is basically half a foot, so it's not points. I don't mean 0.6. I mean 0.5. 0.5. That's half a foot. That's 6 inches. Basically, basic math here. I kind of showed this in a previous video, but I'll show it again. If you're dealing with trying to figure out how to put your inches in here, since it's working off of feet, you just basically do how many inches divided by the total number of inches in a foot, and then that gives you this number. So it's your basic math. So if I got 8 inches, 8 divided by 12 inches, that gives me the decimal I need to put in place. So that's a quick math conversion. Now, actually, I just remembered something. Did I forget? I think this one I got 12. I don't want 12. Let me bring back to actual the cylinder. I want this to actually be probably about 24. I can probably go a little higher, maybe 36 if I wanted to go back. Now, as far as the actual height of these go, actual of these, this is the newel, the center shaft part, and I asked ChatGPT, and it kind of gives me, it makes that for Chat and Grok and a couple other AIs, they give me a bigger newel versus in a smaller step. Now this is the height. All of them about agree on this now. Why I'm going with half of an inch is because I actually was watching a video of them actually building a castle, and going based off of the video, it looked like it was about the width of your hand, which is kind of 3 inches, 4 inches, depending upon what how big your hand is. So I'm just going 6 inches to be on the safe side. So I want, and like I said, this all the different AI chatbots agree to this about being the height. This is a little bit taller than actual step. I'm guessing. I don't never looked up what the actual step height is. I always thought 6 inches, but I could be off. I never. Anyway, let's get into making this. So I'm going to hit Control A again and then scale this. Now I'll come in, do my Alt and click so I can get that loop cut again, and this time I'm actually going to switch to extrude along normals. I'm going to bring it out, and then I'm going to come down here and change this to 3 feet. That's how long the video when I'm actually making one. Now it does vary depending upon who used these stairs in castles. Now, some of the older castles, they're all kind of part of a bit more closer because it costs money. But your servant stairs are usually smaller, and versus what royalty will use, the royalty you can make bigger. This is probably closer to a servant stair because it's going to be about the size of like your normal, like my normal doorway, which is like 2.5 when we get done. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do, so what I won't, and it depends upon whether you do, if you're going to go right, you want to probably start on this side. If you want to do a left spiraling staircase, you may want to be on this side. Actually, no, not right here, left. It depends on which way you have the back and you have the front. So that's something you got to keep in mind, is whether you're doing a right-handed or left-handed. And of course, that varies upon the reason why. You need, like, one castle they did left-handed to confuse people or make it harder for right-handed people to invade. Not so much as far as fighting on the stairs, because the person on the lower step can always cut your legs. It was, but also the main reason was also the owner of the keep was left-handed, so that's why one reason why he did it. But most is right-handed because most people are right-handed. They hold this newel here in the center with their right hand as they walk up the stairs, and while carrying the stuff in the left hand. That's how they some balance. Some use a rope. So let's get into making it. I'm getting too far into history lesson. So we want this for the being about around the back side, and probably right here we want to be the front side. This will give us a plenty of foot space. So I'm going to tab in back in here, and I'm just going to kind of highlight some of the areas I want to cut out. Make sure I'm trying to get as much in one go as I can. There we go. Then I hit delete on delete faces. And go ahead and hide this cylinder. I don't need it no more. Come on down here. I'm gonna get out of that view and get this view so I can see what I'm doing a little better. Grab my edge tool, click on one edge, rotate around, and I'm gonna hit the F key to fill in everything. There we go. F key's filled it in. So that's for the most part the front part of my stuff. Now I'm going to make the back part. So get out of the edit mode. I'm going to hit Control A to go ahead and get that scale on in. Then I'm going to hit Shift A to create me a mesh. I'm going to do a cube. Let's see, we're going to do it probably about 0.3. No, I want 3 feet for that. I want 0.3 for this, and then my 0.833 for the height. And hit my end to close that out. Grab, pull this on over, and get in here. Now I'm going to switch back so I can see what I'm doing, because I kind of want it be lined up here. So grab, bring it about. Probably would help if I actually centered this so you can see a little better. Grab about right there, and then I'm gonna come over here, and I'm gonna turn my snap and get my snap edges on here. Hit my tab, grab my vertice on GX to bring you on over, so we can kind of get you about right there, and GX, and that way kind of finish out the little fan piece, even though probably won't need it. Probably could have kept it straight. Okay, we're going to move on, tab out, go back to this one so you can see what I'm doing, and grab my stair piece. And this is probably another reason why you may want to add more vertices, because this ain't really a curve, but see, this part's going to be hidden by the wall, so I'm not that worried about it. I'm going to come grab my modifier. I'm going to come down here to add modifier, generate Boolean. I'm going to do union. Grab my little eyedropper, come over here, click that, and then come back and I'm going to hit apply. Now I can get rid of that, I can get rid of the cube. We don't need it anymore. I really don't need this cylinder anymore. I'm going to just rename this one turnpike. Turnpike, or spiral stairs, to pick your pick. I kind of like turnpike because it's a different type of name than keep saying spiral. Go ahead and name that. So again, Control A for scale. Just a habit I get myself into. Zoom out here. Now I am going to turn back to here so we can see some stuff. Like I said, right here I can see I need to get some of these lines straightened out. I really don't need that on. Let's see, merge last. Some of this curve right here I really don't need, but I'm not going to stress too much about it because I'm not adding anything extra. This is another reason why I want to clean up, because look how messed up this is. Okay, got most of that stuff cleaned up. I'm tabbing on out. Now I'm going to add, I still, it's just a habit. I don't want to have to double back. So I'm going to come to add modifiers. I'm going to generate, I'm going to do my array. Zoom out here so we can kind of see what we're doing here. And I don't want it, like I said, I want it 12 steps to be a full circle. So I'm going to do 12. Don't need an offset on my x-axis. I need an offset on my z. So we did that. So now you can see I got it nice and tall. And I'm going to rotate. Now I don't want to rotate it this way. That won't work. Now if I had made it up, flipped it around, I could. I want to rotate it this way. And I've come to find out, well, if you're doing 12, I'm going to just, it's about around 30 degrees, but I'm just going to show you here, right, so you can see, because you kind of want to get this area lined up here with here. So I'm going to keep on till it's about there. So as you see, it's about 30 degrees. And the reason is, and we'll get it here on the side so you can see, is that you want part of the step to be sitting on the one beneath it. And this was actually the method I saw them use when they were building these stone turnpike steps. And this is, you want that realistic thing. Now, the thing is, of the array, you can make this as much as you want. So if you want 36, you can. So depending on how tall your room is or get to the next levels, how many you're going to need. And some of the castles, they didn't have a landing spot. They just walked around and you stepped off the step into the room, even if the step was uneven with the floor. But for right now, we're just going to do 12. And I'm going to go ahead and hit apply. You only hit apply once you decide the total number you want, and you may have to, maybe later on if you design your castle, you might have to do some fiddling. But for right now, for all intents and purposes, we're just going to do it here. So the next step I want to do is I'm going to create another cone or cylinder. I don't know what you want to call it. Called 30. That's fine. I don't need to change none of that stuff. I am going to go back to making this 0.5, 0.5, and then this I'm just going to make a foot tall. And it depends on how thick your floor is. This is going to be part of the flooring, and I would just want it to be about the same width as the newel. That way I'm working off the same stuff. So grab Z, bring you on down. I'm going to grab Z, bring up. And if you watch my video on snapping, you'll know why I'm doing this. Or you should know why. I think I told myself. Told y'all. I'm going to tab in, grab my faces, hold my Alt key, grab my loop I want to do, and then get the top view again so I can see what I'm doing. Hit in, right, get rid of that. And then I'm going to keep this extrude along normals. And here I'm going to bring this on out to 2.5, so that's about, no, this is why I do tab, shift, scale, because when you go and do some of this crazy stuff, if you don't have that scaled, get my face, there we go, scale it on out. I want, whoops, don't want this off, I want 2.5. That way it gets about where I need to be. And then the width of a wall is going to be depending on where it's at in the castle. So most of them about around 2 feet thick in some areas. Some might be smaller. If it's in the outer wall, it could even be thicker. So right now I'm just going to stick 2-foot portion of it. Take that off. I don't need my, well, I'm going to need my extrude, but I need to click, hold down my A and click because I want that top. Now I'm going to show you a cheating way when you got your snap tool on, that all I have to do is come bring my cursor up here, hit my E, and boom, I've extruded to the top of that. So the next thing I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to have the cutouts for the steps where they sit in the wall. So I'm going to tab back to my object mode, go to modifiers, generate boolean, and so I'm going to leave it on difference, grab my eyedropper, and then I'm going to click the steps. Whoops, we don't want that. Float looks okay, but I like the way this manifold looks better on this. So like if I switch here and then I just hide my stairs, you can see it's got now the cutouts in the wall for where the stair set or sits. And I just go ahead and hit apply. Now the next thing I want to do is create the door. Let me do the side view. So the door, I'm just going to hit Shift A, come down, get me a cube in. Let's see, I'm going to probably want it at least 2.5. And high, let's see, wide, let's do, it's about 2 feet thick, so let's just do 3 feet to be on the safe side. And the height, we're going to give it probably about, I'm going to do 6 feet. Just keep it simple for right now. I'm going to switch over so I can see what I'm doing. Let's see, grab Z, bring this on up to be about level there. I'm going to hide my cylinder and my turnpike for right now because I want to work in here. Let me hit my, go back and hit my scale first. I'm going to throw one loop cut here in the middle. And grab this, get off of my loop cut. I'm going to then grab both of these, holding the shift key down, G, Z, bring it down a little bit, tab out, hit, go ahead and scale it. Then we'll come back in, I'm going to grab my edge tool, and depending on how you want your doors to look is how much detail. I'm just doing a rough quick through. Grab, hold the shift key down, grab each one of those, come to my bevel, grab that, pull it about, I'd say that's close enough for government work. Add a few, whoops, that's not what I wanted. Whoop. Let's see, grab this again. Somehow I clicked the wrong thing, but we're going to grab this and come down to my segments. Now we can give me a few segments to make it a bit more rounder. And then we're going to click off, tab out. I'm going to bring back my cylinder and my turnpike stairs. And I say I need to see where my steps are. So let's see, where's my steps? They're over on the other side. So I need to move the, no, come on, get back to the top. I need to move my cube. Grab you. We'll go along the y-axis. Grab Y. And I'm just going to bring it on through. I need to get my snap tool off because it's throwing me off. Grab Y. Yeah, about like that. So now we've done that, we come over here, click this, the wall again, come down to my modifier, generate. Let's see, we want boolean, doing the difference again. Eyedropper, whoops, no, I clicked the wrong thing. Eyedropper, I want that. So when yes, that's what I want. Go ahead and hit apply. Get rid of the cube. I don't need it more unless I was going to make a bunch of other openings for different rooms. And now we have a doorway into my turnpike or spiral stairs made of stone. And then you can just go in and add in all your textural features if you want to. And that's just the basics on how you can construct or model a stone spiral staircase or stone turnpike staircase. It kind of can go by either name in the medieval times for building your own castle, and you can use the same technique from doing some more modern ones, although some of the modeling will be a little different. And of course, if you like my content, you can go to any of these websites right here to support me in different ways. Some of the links are in the description, as well as like, subscribe, and share this video with anyone you think might find it interesting. And if you're looking and wanting to build your own castle in a real castle in Blender, or any type of building or house with a floor plan, I would recommend you check out my video, 3D floor plan in Blender, turn your 2D into reality. Until next time, have a nice day.